What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY third-party legend scale Transformers review, we're taking a look at something else new from good old NewAge. Now, this one is a little bit different because it is still a remold of their Galvatron, but they actually consider it something new, which is interesting. So we got their legendary heroes, NewAge, and then you've got a couple of faces there. You had one more lesson to share, price of honor, the power of friendship, and the way you must fight when only the winner survives. Karate Kid references, all about that, because this guy is going to be the shattered glass version of Megatron. It's pretty cool. And he got number 24, so they gave him his own number. So they're really actually saying, look, this is not just a reuse of the mold. We're calling this a new thing, even though it is a straight-up Galvatron remold. And it's the multiverse thing they do now, which is their shattered glass thing, which is also why it's all cracked and whatnot like that. So definitely expect when they do their new version of Prime, they're like Prime 2.0 almost as it is, there will be a shattered glass and yeah, Nemesis and all that stuff. But you have the Shattered Glass Soundwave there because they are partners in that universe, I suppose. Then you come over here and you got a nice shot of him here. You got him here in his jet mode. Definitely a Galvatron thing. Karate Master Machio. Sorry, I forgot they didn't put the name on the front. Machio. So it's a Ralph Macchio reference. So Karate Kid once again. And you come back here and you got a great shot of him flexing. And then you've got Soundwave doing the thing there. You got age 15 plus. Hey, right in the middle of that. NewAge logo. Box art is by, once again, I can never read that. So tiny. I think it's Freeman or something like that. 2020. All things, warnings, such. All stuff there. Come to the top. You got the very G1-esque grid background, which is cool. Go to the bottom. Same exact thing. In the box, you get the instructions and whatnot, but they're exactly the same as Galvatron's instructions, with the exception of the final step, which is just ever so slightly different. And I mean, like, ever so slightly different. Same thing that we saw with the Straxus. Ever so slightly different. But because he transforms the same way and all that kind of stuff, we're not going to bother with the transformation, just like we did with Straxus. So it is what it is. I do believe he does come with extra hands. I'm not going to bother showing those off. They're the same set of hands that you get with both other molds, with the exception, I believe, that Straxus came with those extra like trigger holding hand to hold his weapon a little bit better, which is weird. So that's enough for the box. Let's go ahead and look at the figure. Alright guys, so here we have Shattered Glass Megatron, or Machio as he is known. And he's pretty cool. He's definitely a reworking of our previous Galvatron. Hold on, I gotta undo this focus thing that's happening right now. Also, I have the problem of him being mostly white and black, so having the difficulty of focusing on stuff. I never knew Shattered Glass Megatron was like a totally different thing. Like the fact that he's like based on Galvatron, but has like a flight mode and all that. Like painted really well in this nice pearl white, and then you got black paint, silver paint, red paint, silver paint, pearl paint, black paint, metallic blue paint over here on the cannon, silver paint on the knees, metallic black paint everywhere. Went back to the gunmetal on there, and you got black paint back here, red paint back here, and then of course the backpack is the biggest change because his alt mode is technically like a jet. You even got some red paint down here on the side skirts, which is pretty cool. You do get a full-on remolded chest, which is fine and dandy. I believe these shoulders are completely new as well. So let's just take a look at differences between the new molds, because they did say that this is a new figure, technically speaking, not a just repaint, remold. So, I mean, you get the same shoulders, you get everything from the waist down, or the tummy down, legs all exactly the same, just changing up the thighs, and realistically, now that I'm looking at it, the thighs are the same as Straxus. Chest, obviously, massive remold on the upper chest. Shoulders are completely new mold. Hopefully I zoomed in on that. Actually, you know what? His shoulders are the same as Galvatron's, so that's something different. The forearms are the same as Straxus as well. That's one thing I needed to make sure in the last review, which I did notice. Obviously, the backpack's totally different. The main little section back there, exactly the same. Tank treads are going to be exactly the same. All of that stuff doesn't change. I did add the Shattered Glass logo. I could pick that up as a set, like literally a Shattered Glass logo set from good old Toy Hacks and or Repro labels. You can buy those. You can do the same thing for Shattered Glass Autobots. They just come in a variety of sizes. It's not great because I kind of wish it was clear. If they have a clear set, they didn't when I bought them. I do wish I did have that, though, because it would look so much better. One of the major things is his fusion cannon is extremely different, given that it has a front jet mode here with nice translucent blue and some nice red flamboyant paint there. Looks very cool. Gotta love that. A bit more Megatron shaped than Galvatron shaped, so that's a thing. I will talk about his head sculpt just right quick because he looks like Megatron. Just pretty cool. I like that. And he's got the old, like, more black-headed bucket head. I have a problem with mine, however. This elbow is somewhat good. The elbow that needs to do the literal heavy lifting, incredibly loose. I don't know if I can pop that pin out and then, like, maybe, like, give it a little shoe polish or something. Or shoe polish. Like some pledge or something like that. Get in there. The upper elbow has some stiffness to it, so that will work to hold the cannon up a little bit better. But like the first elbow, so to speak, does not work. So I have to utilize the second one. I really do like these new shoulders, and then like the fancy little metallic gold paint and all the things. I really wish I could set a wider focus. This is like a super tight focus sometimes, and it just doesn't know what to do when I'm moving things about. The legs are also a little bit loose. The knees happen to be like super stiff, but the legs are a little bit loose. And I also find that this part does not tab in super well, so it seems like there might be a little bit of mold degradation by this point, or perhaps it was just a Monday, Friday figure. That happens. Also, these little flappies down here are a little bit loose. I can probably tighten that. It's just a screw. So other than that, I mean, he's pretty cool, and we've seen the comparison to his mold mates. So that's cool. So let's just do the thing real quick where we got to bring in his best friend, our Shattered Glass Soundwave that I can't get to stand in his fun karate pose. He doesn't want to do it today. So it is what it is. So these two do go together as a set, which is pretty neat. I'm not going to lie. Oh, I forgot to put whoever in his chest. I meant to do that. I did not do that. So, also, if I remember correctly, his elbows were getting a little weak as well with these weird slide pin joints. So, but it's neat that we can get these two characters together. I guess in the comics, they have a history or whatever, wherever the Shattered Glass stuff goes. After it was a BotCon thing, I guess maybe they made it in the comics, like an IDW or something. I'm not sure. Somebody will tell me in the comments, or nobody will comment at all. One of those things. Neat to see these two together. So that's fun. He does come with spare hands, as I believe I mentioned before, but there's no point in looking at him because there are no differences. It doesn't even come with the hands for Straxus, I don't believe. Like the extra little hands. So either way, let's go ahead and skip the transformation, except for the very last step, which is the ever so slightly different thing. All the rest of it is exactly the same. If you need to see how to get them into alt mode, it'll be up here. It'll be the Taro video. So this one is one of those weird times where I can skip transformation entirely, and I didn't start in alt mode because it's just cooler to go this way. And then I can get everybody into alt mode as it is. So fun times for me. I get to now go transform 3 of these guys. YouTube funness there, where I got to transform the same mold 3 times to do the cool comparison. So yeah, yay. Alright guys, so now that we've got him back here transformed up, and as I complained in the Straxus review, it is a very, very painful transformation. And with these extra wide wings and stuff like that on there, it is a giant pain in the ass. But once again, just like Straxus, you can, in fact, peg those in there Oh, I like the little red tank treads. It's interesting. Also, white things are very hard to film, whether it's on white background or black background. I need a gray background, so that might be a change in the future. So something you also have to do to transform him, and if you can do this without doing it, by all means, let me know. The little cannons here need to be removed because they are 100% in the way when you have to rotate things away. So plug those back in. You've got his fusion cannon, which will plug in down here. Now, I don't think there's a specific direction you should plug it in, so I'm going to plug it in like that. I mean, I'm sure there is, but, you know, instructions be damned. So you can get his big old, yeah. And then the cockpit section for his flight mode, you know, has the same tab as the old cannons for the most part. And there you go. Got him in flight mode. Now the wings are a little bit dinky for this, but this is more about implying, because I guess Shatterglass Megatron was meant to be like that version of Galvatron. So the fact that they have a similar alt mode is intended to be that way, except for the fact this one changes into a jet. And yes, I have seen the Hasbro version that is coming. They like, and I guess it's fine, but they're reusing a siege mold again. And I'm just not, just not, as it is. And I guess you can, if you wanted to play with the feet or something, you know, just kind of alter things just ever so slightly if you want to. You know, you can do that, you know, tip them however you want to. Just to try to make things ever so slightly different, you know. I think the way the legs deal with the whole back half of this is just incredibly annoying. So let's bring out all of the molds so far. So we got our Straxus boy from last time, and his blue cannon, and then the actual Galvamatron. And for the most part, you know, it does exactly the same thing in every mode. The only one that's different is him, because he has nothing to plug in down there. And once again, it took way too long to transform the three of these. Huge pain in my butt, and took probably close to like 35 minutes or so, maybe 40 minutes to get all of them transformed up. And, you know, it's an unpleasant transformation. It's not a fun experience, at least not for me. And I know another reviewer who's looked at the Galvatron and said the same thing. He's like, this is one of the most complicated transformations for a Legend scale that I've had in a long time. It takes away from the fun of it. Like, that's for me, like, bot modes are fun. They look great, they're painted to the nines, details out the wazoo, but you get into transformation and you get into their alt mode and it's just like meh. And I don't even have any Galvatron, like, to mainline ones to really compare to, and I usually get that the butt is kind of a problem. At least next up we have more G1 coming out. I mean, like, first run original Transformers. When I say G1, I almost always forget that G2 is a completely actual separate thing. I'm usually referring to season 1 and 2 characters versus season 3 characters, like this guy. So we next up, they're releasing Shockwave, which looks absolutely amazing. I know the Magic Square Shockwave is already out. Don't care. Don't want Magic Square. It is what it is. I'm a NewAge DX9 fan, and of course they're basically trying to replace all their DX9 stuff at this point. And now they're even 2.0ing things with their 2.0 Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper, which is funny because they never gave us a Cliff Jumper in the first place. So they didn't bother giving us a Cliff Jumper off the original Bumblebee mold, which I find great. And that's coming in a 2-pack. I love that. For a decent price, you get 2 small robots that may or may not be also super complicated. But the Shockwave looks fantastic. Can't wait to do that because he'll go on my Cybertron display. And of course, they keep teasing us with the new Optimus Prime 2.0 molds, which look like they're based off of the Dutch design and then going from there. And yeah, I have seen the Magic Square Bumblebee, which is a slight upgrade and copy of the NewAge one, which is really funny. So they took what NewAge originally did, ever so slightly improved it, and then NewAge, I guess, caught wind of that and said, no, we're going to go ahead and redesign this entire thing and base it off the 2.0 Bumblebee MP. So it is what it is. But guys, if you like this video, make sure you go check out the rest of the NewAge DX9 playlist, as it were. And if you want to see the transformations for these guys, go watch the Taro video for Galvatron over on the second channel, and then you'll see my pain. It's bad. It hurts me to my core what I have to do for these things. And now, because of the way I film this, I have to transform these back to get thumbnails. Great. But I'll catch you guys next time. Remember, as always, keep on nerding.